is your host, Hugo Bernal.
What's up, banda? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Mexican Soccer Podcast. As mentioned before, I'm your host, Hugo Bernal. And this is El Tri Online, the best site you can find for Mexican soccer, really. I just want to remind everybody, well, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, Chorizo con Huevo. Super, todavía no te metas a esto, por favor. We're not ready yet. We just want to remind everybody to subscribe. Please subscribe to whatever you're watching us today. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, whatever you guys are watching or listening to us, subscribe to the podcast because we are on Spotify as well. Episode 179, El Mexican Soccer Podcast. So let's welcome everybody now, El Super Mojado. Le dio hambre cuando hablamos de chorizo con huevo. Fernando también acá se puso inquieto y... ya es portugués. El buen Edwin. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Hugo? Luego se te hace agua la boca empezando, no te diste abasto en las navidades. You're not eating off these holidays or what, man?
How are you, Fernando?
Bien, pero ya veo que a usted no se le quita lo cochino con el año nuevo. Ya veo que siguen igual, no cambian.
Que passa com o português? Fala o português?
Mais ou menos.
Mais ou menos.
Ay, güey.
Ahora, ¿quién eres? ¿Bruno Fernández o quién es?
Muito obrigado.
Diogo Jota.
No. ¿Cómo estás, raza? Feliz año nuevo. Feliz año nuevo primero para ustedes, para el producer, que ojalá este año ya nos dé un aumento. Por favor, pero feliz año nuevo,
Te lo merece, sobre todo el portugués.
Por favor, calidad esta no se encuentra en todos lados,
So guys, welcome everybody. We have a good show coming up today. It's our first show of the year. A great season coming up ahead of us. Thank you, everybody who's listening for the first time. Remember to subscribe at Mexican Soccer Podcast. I just want to point this out. We have episode 179. I believe this season we will be getting to the 200 episodes. If we push it a little bit. This season, I want to say in the first 6 months. We will see. Yes, more likely. It looks like it. But it sounds easy, but it takes a while to get there. But are you guys excited about this season coming up?
Well, yes. I'm excited to see soccer, but creo que hablo igual para Super que para mí. Pumas and Chivas did not get any refuerzos except maybe El Piojo, but it's not looking good for any of the teams.
Not only that, it's, well, at least for Chivas, they might get people away. Alexis Vega, it looks like he's going away. So it's getting worse. Super.
Talk for yourself, Fernando. I'm all good, man. Listen.
I'm sorry. I forgot que el refuerzo número 1 es la afición y con eso ganan el campeonato. So
claro, mira, solo con el nombre tienes, with the name, that's enough for you. So, así que persínate cuando hables de las Chivas, por favor.
Por favor. Igual ni al repechaje llegan, pero vamos a ver. Let's see what the tournament has in store for us.
I'm wondering, and the predictions, we're going to get to them eventually, and everything that we are thinking ahead of time, because Walter Mercado, a.k.a. El Super Mojado, actually, riman. Do you guys realize? Walter Mercado, El Super Mojado. He's going to be saying, for the entire season, I told you guys. Whatever you said, say it today, because today's the day. Let's producer, let's make sure we have the record button. That way we can replay anything that it's been said today. The first show of the season. And let's see. Listen what?
Go back 179 episodes and you see how many times I was right.
Ese super que en el primer episodio he predicted that Atlas is going to be a champion in 2021.
Yeah, sure.
I predicted that Atlas was going to be champion 70 years ago.
You were in middle school, right? Super 7 years ago.
Por eso. High school.
Talking about it, do you think, Edwin, let's start right over. Do you think Atlas has a chance to repeat as champions?
I don't think so. It seems really hard, especially because they have let go one of their key players to Tigres this season, which is Angulo. Angulo was a key player for this past season, a solid center back that's now, ganó la medalla de oro. He's now a part of the first team of the national team. I think their chances are, if last season no one really believed in them, now I think this season it's going to be a little more complicated. But you never know. I mean, they gave us that surprise last season, and hopefully, but it seems hard.
Another 70 years. So before we get to you, Fernando, and Super, let's take a look at what the schedule for week 1 looks like. And we know that they all got excited about Atlas, but already Edwin put them, los tumbó de las nubes. Thursday, San Luis abre todo contra el Pachuca. Are you happy, Edwin, con tu Pachuca? Although San Luis.
I mean, yes and no. There's been honestly a few. Llegaron a few new players that are interesting, like Fernando Navarro that was relegated last season from León. And
one second, Edwin. Let's just get through the whole thing because the producer doesn't like to keep the graphics for so long, and they will go away, and I won't be able to see them again. But only if I ask. But here is Puebla América, Juárez Necaxa, Monterrey Querétaro, Santos Tigres.
Suspendido.
That one, it's gonna play until later on. Cruz Azul Cholos.
I believe they were saying the 12th. I believe next
January 12th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Pumas Toluca.
I think that one also was in danger.
Pumas Toluca is about to be suspended too because Toluca has 11 cases of COVID on the first.
Only 11. That's fine. And then Chivas Mazatlan. We'll see what that happens on that one.
But Super Clásico.
Yeah, because
el mariachi contra la banda. That's what really gonna happen.
Whatever Chivas plays with, it becomes a clásico. Really, everybody wants to have a clásico against Chivas, but easy there, people. So Edwin, Pachuca. What happened to San Luis? Did they get somebody important in there? What happened with San Luis?
Llega Abel Hernández, the Uruguayan player that was playing in Europe and now is coming from Flamengo. They also got Ruben Sambuesa. They got some interesting players. Honestly, I think
Ruben
Sambuesa. I think they have made an impact in a low way to get their transfers that they needed. But in Pachuca, yes, they won. They got a player that American Tigres were looking at. Even Cruz Azul, they said that they got into the discussion of bringing him into André Trindade. But I mean, we're still seeing better players that coming into the women's Pachuca team, las Tuzas, other than the men's. I don't know what's the vision now for Pachuca. Pero other than Trindade, there's nothing but all players like Fernando Navarro.
Pachuca's in the same boat as Pumas and Chivas, pretty much.
Everybody's in the same boat then, because it's just starting, guys. Take it easy. Look what happened to Atlas. Nobody was putting a single dime on Atlas at the beginning of the season. What happened?
So you mean since 70 years ago, man?
No. Pero hay veces que sabes, bueno, se reforzaron bien. They're doing this and that, or it's been a couple seasons. Diego Coca just made magic out of it, and they got to it. But so on that season of on that topic,
a lot of magic.
Fernando, any chances for Atlas?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Even when teams keep the same team for the following season, they struggle a lot, just like Cruz Azul did when they had that amazing team that they ended up in first place and ended up winning the championship. The next tournament, they struggled a lot. So it's going to be the same with Atlas, especially because they were not a solid team in La Liguilla. To end the tournament, they didn't win any of the brackets. So they're not going to make it to the championship again.
How about Super? I mean, I know you're not going to be saying too much about Atlas, but if they start playing solid, something interesting can develop. Don't you think?
Well, I think They're all right. I mean, they lifted this trophy. Right. They got lucky. They got.
They did. They did get lucky. I agree with Super this time.
There was a lot of controversy following, like the whole road to the championship. That's why Fernando jumps right away, because you know what happened in the semifinals.
Not only that, but then the game against Monterrey was a little sketchy too. Like I told you last time, but
Yeah, so
Sin Yolanda, hombre, sin Yolanda, banda.
No, definitely. I see. Let's remind everyone. There is that curse, la campeonitis. No, that not a curse, but it's that disease that the people get. El coronavirus del fútbol. That campeonitis that happens in Mexico. In Mexico, I should say.
Edwin, what do you think, Edwin, on that? Do you think it's true?
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's a lot of things that involves this. At the end of the day, se desarma el equipo. A lot of times when a lower on the bracket teams makes it all the way to either la liguilla, semifinals, or even the final. Teams with money like Tigres or Rayados, America, Cruz Azul, they go in for those type of players that they were shining the previous tournament, and they tend to take all those key players from those teams away. So now Atlas, I think, is suffering from that. It's one of those things that they need money, but they're also, I don't know, man. They have interesting players. They kept their two solid forwards, which is Furch and Quiñones. And you never know. It's you never know what could happen in the Mexican Liga MX, honestly. It's for all we know, maybe Mazatlán will win a Champions League season. I don't know.
All right.
Cálmate.
Hey, si la ganó el Atlas. Si la ganó el Atlas, ya creo todo, you know.
Si Pumas fue bicampeón en el 2005, 2004, 2003, 2002, por allá. Que no se puede hacer campeonatos otra vez.
They had a very good team. That you cannot compare that team to
sí, con el Picolín, sobre todo, con el Picolín.
Como el Parejita López,
Picolín wasn't then. Verón, Leandro Augusto. Who?
No, Picolín wasn't there yet?
They had what's his name?
I'm sorry, Fernando, but I'll bet you.
But he probably did
not. I'll bet you $100 that they were both Picolines were in the team already.
Yeah, they were both on the bench, but they weren't part of that essential team that I'm talking about.
It was Sergio Bernal, el de goalie. I remember
Sergio Bernal, Sergio Bernal, Darío Verón.
El eterno.
We're talking about the last solid team that Pumas had.
Marioni no estaba en la delantera, no todavía no.
It was Kikín Fonseca. It was Kikín Fonseca.
Era el Tronquín Fonseca. Perdón, Kikín.
Oh, es tu colega, brother. Take it easy with him. Come on.
Por eso.
Okay. So anyway.
Luego se las anda dando cuando lo ve el güey.
Sí, nomás lo ve. Ay, sí, tronquín. Ajá. But anyway.
Francisco para ustedes, por favor.
Aguas. Anyway, so I know Atlas doesn't get you going or doesn't get you moving or doesn't get anything going in you guys. What are you guys excited about this season?
Hablemos del super equipo que está formando That's Forming Tigres, señores.
Ay,
Tigres. ¿Qué les dije en Instagram?
Super equipo lo ha tenido desde hace mucho tiempo. They always have players con muchísimo nombre como el Tovin, que no hizo nada la temporada pasada. Guiñac se apagó. And other players that supposedly come.
Sí, a lo mejor, Fernando, you say they didn't do anything. They made it all the way to the semifinal. I'm sorry, if for a new transition with a new coach, different formation, different system, a new players that were playing a different position, and you don't think that's easy. You never know what's gonna happen this season.
Well,
con la incorporación de Córdoba, that he's a player that was shining in America with Miguel Herrera. There's the coach that made him shine in America. Con Angulo ahora, que es el central por izquierda que les hacía falta a los Tigres. I think Tigres is a number one team. It's a number one contender to win the championship this season.
Pumas made it to the semifinals just like Tigres did, and Pumas had a very limited squad. And if you tell me that Tigres has this fantastic team that they always have, you expect more from them. You expect them to make it to the final every single year. And like you say, if they're forming a very fantastic team this season, I expect them to be champions. If they don't, then it's not gonna be that fantastic, like you say. They always have top players. They have the best players or the most expensive players in La Liga MX, apart from Monterrey. So they haven't surprised me.
Monterrey is also that get me excited. Monterrey, especially Edwin. You know, you have contacts, insiders in la Sultana del Norte. Are they getting Alexis Vega? Yes or no?
It's complicated. Alexis Vega is asking for him to leave Chivas. He's asking for 2.5 times what he's making, the salary that he's making in Chivas, to be able to leave uno de los grandes del fútbol mexicano.
So he's not gonna renew with Chivas, and he's just gonna stay for one more season, and that's it. No, he's gonna go by.
He'll go.
He is renewing.
He is.
I mean, yeah, he was renewing, but they're gonna include that clause there, I guess, that he would reach his double his salary, but there's gonna be more of a. Well, I think what he's looking for is more of a road to Europe. That's what he wants.
The reason why he wants to leave Chivas, or Chivas wants to get rid of him, it's because it's not that he wants to leave. It's because Chivas wants to sell it. The thing that's been saying in Monterrey, or why Chivas was the one offering Alexis Vega to Rayados, is because Alexis Vega does not want to renew the contract unless he gets a bigger paycheck monthly or yearly, and Chivas does not have the money right now to offer that to him. So the only way, like the same way that was with Luis Romo, is to avoid for him to go out to another club or maybe Europe for free, is for them to get even a little bit of money out of him. I mean, they spend a lot of money on Alexis Vega buying him from Toluca. I think Chivas might want to take at least $5 million or $40 million or $6 million there. That's less. The price is being talked in La Sultana del Norte. The Rayados is offering to him. So I honestly don't see Alexis Vega starting the tournament with Chivas this weekend. The reason is because he's more close to go to a different club than to renew his contract with Chivas.
When you say he's close to going to a different team, are you talking about Monterrey, or could it be any other team?
No, I'm talking about un equipo norteño.
Norteño MLS, norteño Tigres.
Norteño de México.
¿Por qué no dices quién y ya te quitas el... Come on.
Porque no puedo.
El Monterrey.
Es Monterrey.
No. It's not only Monterrey. There's 3 teams in el norte that are pushing for his signing.
Okay, Santos o Cholos.
Tigres.
Santos, Tigres.
No, porque dice que no es Tigres.
Pues anyway. Entonces ahí está Juárez.
No va a decir portugués. No va a decir.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think
he's full of.
Listen, I'm gonna go back to the romanticism that we have. Like he's a player that loves Chivas. He loves the team. He loves the fans.
So you said the same thing for Pizarro.
He wants to stay.
You said the same thing for Pizarro, and Pizarro just signed back with Monterrey.
But anyway,
I agree with you. But that was a different issue. Pizarro was willing to come back to Chivas. They didn't want him.
Enough talking about small teams. Guys.
I don't think the love for the team exists much anymore on that many players.
It's a love for this.
Anyway, so enough talking about small teams like Monterrey or Tigres. Let's talk about the big ones. Let's talk about Chivas. Let's talk about América. Let's talk about Cruz Azul and Pumas. Before we continue, let me just read this real quick. Luis Bravo está de vuelta. Welcome, Luis. América campeón este año. Thank you for your comments. Cruz, MJ, as always. Banda, saludos. ¿Qué rollo, cabrones? Chivas campeón. Esto sí es de Chivas. Llegó el arma secreta. ¿Cuándo es el litio Quiniela? We'll talk to the producer about it. Rec 416, welcome, Rec. All these players staying in Liga MX instead of going to Europe, so dumb and greedy. I don't know about that. It's a lot of money and it's a good pay. But anyways, yes, they don't wanna go.
I don't think it's much of the players. It's more of the teams, but
that too.
I don't. It's 50-50, Fernando. Because at the end of the day, like Oribe Peralta one day said, he got offered when his prime a contract with Espanyol, but the pay was what's a quarter of what he was getting paid in America. So he was going to get paid in America. So he's like, I'm not going to sacrifice the future for my kids just to go play in a mid-table team in Europe. And
exactly.
when I can become a champion in Liga MX and become an idol and get paid a bunch of money.
Secure the retirement and secure the education of your kids. Yeah. That makes sense. But anyway, so continue talking about Chivas and everything, and the big teams, which it's included Pumas, by the way, Fernando. So get a little bit excited. Who's the favorite?
I'm not excited because it's normal for Pumas to be there.
So because
small
history,
margin.
that's it. History, that's it.
So anyway, that's a lot of history.
Let's just put a rank: number 1, 2, 3, and 4, real quick.
For what? Like de los equipos más grandes?
Yeah.
América, Cruz Azul, Chivas, y Pumas.
Okay. Super.
But what are you talking about ranking? Ranking them right now? I mean, ranking them like
just for the coming up season. For the coming up season, historically, we're just going to talk about history today. Super, come on, man, get with the program. We talk about this.
For them to get the championship, well,
more likely to get the championship. Rank it right now. Who's the more likely number 1? Who's the less likely number 4?
Out of those 4, it should be América, Cruz Azul, Chivas, and Pumas.
Well, I disagree slightly. I think that Cruz Azul is closer than América to get the next championship.
Okay.
Than Chivas and Pumas.
The only reason why Super thinks Cruz Azul is closer is because he doesn't want to say America.
So what's yours, Fernando? It's going to be America first then?
America
the closet.
Then Cruz Azul, then Pumas, and then Chivas.
I like the 3 and 4. The 3 and 4. Edwin, what do you think? See, this is a good one. Well, Edwin, what do you think? Chivas is the 3rd and not Pumas.
The reason is because, believe it or not, I think Leaño could it showed at the end of the season. He showed a little bit of something different. The afición were kind of looking for, which is like los jóvenes were running. I know things weren't going their way, but the jóvenes they kept on running. They're showing that passion que el escudo de Chivas needs at the end of the day. So I think with the preseason and this, a little bit more time of working and getting to know his youth academy, because he has gone to a lot of the games of the U20 and then the Tepatitlán del equipo filial. Tapatío. Bueno, él es el Tepatitlán. Pero bueno, one of those, he's getting to know the players inside of Chivas, and I think he could be that person to be able to bring back a little bit. I'm not saying they're gonna do amazing. I'm not saying they're next into the championship, but I think Chivas might show something different than Pumas. Pumas, creo que a Lilini ya se le acabó el discurso. I don't think el vestidor believes in him no more, because they haven't really shown much from last season. They had a little spark at mid-season, but then at the end of the day, se les volvió a caer el bote. I don't see Pumas, especially right now.
You make a good point about Chivas and Leaño. I'm not so sure about Leaño. I like the strategy. I don't know about motivation. If there's any motivation coming into Chivas, I see el auxiliar técnico, y ahí sí un poco me recuerda un poco a lo que pasaba con Chivas en el 2007 o 2006 cuando quedan campeones 2005. But that one has to do
¿Sabes a quién me recuerda un poco Chivas? ¿Sabes a quién me recuerda un poco Chivas en esta temporada? Para ojalá y se
las del Güero Real, que llega a la final.
No. ¿Recuerdas el Puebla del Chelis hace mucho tiempo cuando estaba un hondureño que lo criticaban mucho por su forma de jugar, porque jugaba muy, muy desordenado, jugaban siempre muy crowded, everybody was running towards the same place, first of all, but la estrategia del Chelis en ese entonces,
era esa. What happened?
No,
No pagó su teléfono, no pagó su teléfono.
Se le fue internet.
Este segmento es traído a ustedes por Cricket Wireless. Recuerden de pagar su teléfono.
Shoot.
Por eso quería el aumento. Exactly. Send them a check. Send them a check. These are the notable off-season moves. El Piojo Alvarado llega a Chivas. Jonah Dos Santos llega a América. A Cruz Azul llega Uriel Antuna, Mayorga y Carlos Rodríguez. Con Monterrey, Luis Romo y Rodolfo Pizarro, y a Tigres, Sebastián Córdoba. A little bit of to mention, because actually we're getting some comments from Rex 16 saying, oh, look at all these MLS players going to Europe. That's why the US will be smashing Mexico for the next decade to come. That's a good thing. That's a good point, though, because if we remember the players who got bronze medal, from Mexico, only one is in Europe, if I'm not mistaken, el de Pumas. Y está haciendo un excelente trabajo y va a ser el central de México, probablemente titular. Y lo que viene siendo Estados Unidos exportó a todos los jugadores, pero esa es otra conversación. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's get back to the comments. So we're going to get the Quiniela coming soon as we responded. Sí, compadre, que se arme ya. Where's Don Flamingo? I don't want to be the only guy telling Super he's whack. Come on, Super. ¿Ya no tienes seguidores? ¿Qué pasó con tu club de fans, mi Super?
¿Qué pasó, mi... ¿Quién es?
Rec
Don
416.
Flamingo. Saludos, Don Flamingo. ¿Qué te puedo decir, compadre? Aquí estamos dándole todo. Sígueme echando porras.
Te va a echar a su club de fans, mi buen Rex 416. But anyway, so those are the moves that the big four or the bigger teams, the bigger moves, the most notable moves we got this off season. But anyways, moving on. ¿Alguno en particular que sea su favorito, guys?
For me, not my favorite, because obviously se lo quitaron a Pumas, but I think Cruz Azul scored a big one with Lira, with Eric Lira. I don't think it was in the notable ones, but
it wasn't.
I think
was he part of the U23 national team?
He was part of the he didn't make it to the Olympiadas, but he had the whole process before.
Okay. So you call that one a winner, y a winner, pero solo porque viene de Pumas y sabemos que hablas con la camiseta y el corazón.
No, porque eso es canterano que demostró mucho con Pumas, y I think he's gonna do great with Cruz Azul. They're gonna do good with him, unless they mess everything up like they always do. But you know.
What else is new? Super. Who's the winner in the what's it called? En las transacciones que hubo.
Well, it's very
Did you like the Chivas move? Did you like the Chivas move? Be honest with yourself.
I didn't like that they're making it look like it's like two players for one. I didn't but I think Edwin, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Mayorga is on a loan. He's not.
Yeah, Mayorga is a loan, but it says
okay.
His clause is like it's an immediate buy right after the season.
Okay.
Ahora resulta que ya los extrañas a los dos, Super.
No.
A ver. Espérame, perdón, Super, que te corte, pero a ver, Fernando. Chivas doesn't have a lot of options on the left back.
No, I know that.
And Mayorga wasn't doing bad. I think Mayorga era uno de los jugadores un poco más rescatables del plantel de Chivas. So if you let your left back go, that means you have someone coming from the youth academy to be important in that position.
I'm mostly talking about Antuna, because I know that Super hated on Antuna throughout the whole last season. So
we're not talking about Antuna right now. I'm talking about Mayorga.
Oh, well, no, but I'm telling you that when I asked him que resulta que los extrañas, I was mostly talking about Antuna, because I personally miss Mayorga in Pumas, because like you said, he's a great player, and without Mayorga, we have somebody who doesn't even know how to kick a ball. His name's Jerónimo Rodríguez. You know, I don't even know. I can play better soccer than he does. So obviously, Chivas is gonna miss. Chivas is gonna miss Mayorga.
We got Don Flamingo here. Está saludando al árbitro mamado. ¿Quién es el árbitro mamado?
Ah, cabrón.
Me parece que
porque viene de negro el Edwin.
El portugués, me parece, no sé.
A ver, enseña. Enseña mi Edwin.
No.
No, güey, ándale.
Hay que mantenerlo PG porque luego las damas.
Tienes que invitarle una cerveza primero.
Enséñalo, a ver, güey, a ver, conejo, échale. Ándale, quiero ver. Man. Come on.
Lo chiveaste, güey.
No te excites, Hugo. No te excites.
No, quería ver si sí estaba mamado o no.
Estás poniendo coloradito.
No, going back to this, I don't know, man. It's very even. I think
that trade? Are you guys still talking about that trade? Oh, come on, guys. Move on.
Well, you're the one that asked.
I know, like 20 minutes ago.
Regresando al tema. Regresando al tema, la verdad que I think the best signing right now fue la incorporación de Charlie Rodríguez a Cruz Azul. I think Charlie Rodríguez is what they need to be it's different. It's a different player.
A ver, en teoría, ¿quién en nombre? Who ends up with the best cuadro? Por nombres.
En nombres, I think con Jonathan Dos Santos ya el América sale.
No, pero espérate. Monterrey también. Monterrey se queda con Pizarro, con alguien, con Smori,
con alguien que se quedó en la banca acá en Miami. O donde estuviera.
Pero conoce su calidad, calidad. No hay que...
A ver, pero Fernando, Jonathan Dos Santos viene de su peor torneo en el LA Galaxy, de muchas lesiones, mucha inconsistencia. Viene de su peor torneo. ¿Me vas a decir que es el mejor fichaje del fútbol mexicano? Si es el mejor fichaje del fútbol mexicano, entonces estamos perdidos y por eso le vamos a los Pumas.
Based on names, on the name on paper, Jonathan Dos Santos es the one que sobresale más aquí. Porque es Jonathan Dos Santos.
How?
A ver.
How?
On paper.
How?
O sea,
por su historia.
What has Jonathan Dos Santos done in his career?
He's the only one in all here that's playing in Europe. Exactly. We know that he has quality, and that quality can come back at any moment. But then we know that Rodolfo Pizarro didn't even do a good job here in the United States.
He doesn't even have a team.
And the quality, it's okay. I mean, I'm not putting down.
Who doesn't have a team?
Giovanni Dos Santos, and now he doesn't have a team.
Oh no, but we knew that he was going downhill completely since he came back from Europe. Jonathan Dos Santos, at least he showed something here in Galaxy. Maybe not in this last tournament, but prior to that, he wasn't doing a bad job. Gio Dos Santos did.
No, pero no era un jugador del que hablábamos toda la semana.
No, pero también
exactly.
Pero es un jugador estable.
So if you have a team,
que se quedaron sin equipo.
If you have a team and you have an option between Jonathan Dos Santos and Pizarro, who are you going to pick? Pizarro, the one who que se puso como diva aquí en Estados Unidos?
No, but think about this then. Do you have Sebastián Córdoba or Jonathan Dos Santos? Who are you going to put?
Córdoba.
No, I mean it's not an obvious answer, but it's a even answer, even question.
Por juventud, por proyección, por talento.
Un poco de diferentes posiciones también, pero okay.
Well, if you ask America, they chose Jonathan over Córdoba.
No, porque Solari
no. America didn't choose it. He had issues with Solari. They choose Solari over Córdoba. They didn't choose the players. They choose the team, the coach.
Pero Solari también tiene el jugador español. Señor, Solari tiene a su jugador español y
apostaron por tiene su proyección española Fidalgo, pero que la verdad también después de su primera temporada Fidalgo nos ha dejado mucho que deber.
Okay, guys, give 1 second because 1 second. 1 second. No. Okay, finish. Super. Que luego lloras.
The best. I think Monterrey is the one that comes on top of this whole.
To me, it's between Monterrey and Cruz Azul.
Well, let's put it this way. Monterrey didn't get too many players. They already had a really good squad, and they just added 2 good names to it. So yes, Monterrey is definitely up there. Cruz Azul too, but it's a tough. Before we get to break,
se llega
guys,
a Tabó, se llevan Tuna, Mayorga, Charlie Rodríguez, Eric Lira.
Sí, tiene razón. Okay, we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna take a break before we're just gonna read the comments right now. Saludos al árbitro mamado. Ya le mandamos saludar y no nos quiso enseñar su conejito. Este es el nuevo show de fútbol. Este es solo un show de fútbol. No es un OnlyFans. ¿Qué pues? Super is going to get with his pants down that account. Wow. Damn. Luis Bravo telling us Diego Valdés es más que Jonah Dos Santos. Dejen a mi Solari en paz, dice Luis Bravo. Anyways, that's what's going on right now with the transactions and with the comments that people are telling us. So let's go take a break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Guys, bring it down. And a Portugués, ¿nos va a enseñar su conejo o no?
No tiene, es una rata.
Dale pues, we're gonna take a break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to El Mexican Soccer Podcast. This is Joe Rodriguez, and these are your odds for round one of the Grita Mexico Liga MX season. So you have a plus 180 and plus 160 for Pachuca and San Luis, which means that the favorite to win is Pachuca. Juarez and Necaxa on Friday. It looks like Pachuca, not Pachuca, but Juarez is the favorite on that day. After that, we go to Puebla and America. America at 1 plus 45 is the favorite in that one. So moving on to the next days. Here we see that Monterrey, heavy favorite over Querétaro. I guess everything that Edwin and company was talking about makes sense right here. At least that's what the odds makers are telling us. This game of Santos and Tigres was postponed, so we won't be talking about that. Cruz Azul, also another big heavy favorite at minus 210 against Los Cholos. Plus 500 for Cholos, so if they get a win, you can make some cash right there. And last but not least, we're hearing also that Toluca and Pumas will be postponed, but if it doesn't, it's at minus 115 for Pumas. They are favorites to win. And Chivas, also heavy favorite, minus 125. Mazatlan plus 400. So guys, we'll see how things turn out. These odds were courtesy of DraftKings and also as of Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, so they could have changed. Now let's go back to our host, Hugo Bernal. Take it away.
Thank you, producer. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in El Mexican Soccer Podcast. Let's just remind everybody, subscribe and hit that button if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Follow us, like us, whatever you have to do. Twitter, Twitch, anywhere you are, follow El Mexican Soccer, El Tri Online en El Mexican Soccer Podcast. We have tres maleantes en este show hoy y obviamente un caballero distinguido.
Gracias.
Su servilleta.
Gracias.
Sí, bola de maleantes. Ya me tumbaron la cartera ustedes de forma virtual. No sé ni cómo le hacen, pero bueno. Anyway, so continuing with the discussions, are you guys bringing it down a couple notches? Because you guys are going all the way. But, I mean, what can I tell you?
Si saben cómo me pongo.
¿Para qué me invitan? Así me llovían.
Si van a decir cosas coherentes, sí le bajo.
Hola.
El que prefiere a Jonah Dos Santos, el super crack.
El próximo Busquets. No, ya están de la edad.
Es más grande Jonah Dos Santos, yo creo. Nah, not. Anyway, so MLS. So somebody mentioned it on the comments. we see, ¿cómo se llama el del FC Dallas? Tú que lo conoces bien, mi buen Edwin, que acaba de firmar Pepe, exactamente. So many MLS players going to Europe at a way higher rate than the Mexican players.
Or but also some of them are coming back. They're talking
right now. It is true.
They're talking about to Adam Taylor, the player from Salzburger. In Germany or Leipzig in Germany to go there. It's talking about coming back to, I think, is it Colorado Rapids or DC United, one of those two teams. There's a lot of teams. I mean, it's gonna sound wrong what I'm gonna say, but you can't compare sending players to La Liga de Bélgica, to the Belgian league, which US has about 6 or 7 players in that league. Como los mexicanos que buscan o los sudamericanos que buscan irse a una liga de España, top teams in la Liga Premier. Yes, they are sending a lot of players. I mean, but Augsburg in La Liga and at the Bundesliga, it's not a team that really fights for championships. It's a team that fights for relegation. So you got to look at both ways. Are you doing a good
so where would you see, because Pepe, if he does a good job in there, he's gonna jump right in.
That's what I'm saying. But I was gonna get to that. Are you doing a good to the player to send him to fight for relegation, to fight for a team like that does not, that's playing alongside players in Europe?
I mean, the guy is 18 years old, so I think he got plenty of time in order to just showcase. And if you want to showcase, there's no better showcase than playing in the actual league that you want.
Are you doing any good to him to send him over there, or you should have you kept him and for another season, let's say, and make him score a couple of more goals, maybe become the leading scorer player of this season in MLS. And be able to send them to a higher, no, I'm not saying a top level team in Europe, but a higher level team that will fight for at least
I have to disagree with you there.
Like teams in Europe, positions in Europe.
I think he's better off in that team in La Bundesliga than any team here in MLS or in Mexico.
And if he has quality, he's gonna show over there, man. And then another team might just pick him.
It's easier to hop from a smaller team to a bigger team than from here to a bigger team over there. So I think he did that was the best choice
because look, we put vamos a ponerlo en. Well, let's compare them, and I know ages are different, but Orbelín Pineda is also going to a team that's fighting. Right now, it's not really fighting for Europe positions. It's fighting for relegation. Pero I would rather have seen, Orbelín Pineda going a little younger to Europe and maybe do a different move. Now el tren se le está escapando. He's 27 years old.
20s, ¿no?
No, he's 26, 27 years old already.
But see, that's the thing. I think
you know what I'm saying. Like I think Pepe he didn't have the luck that other U.S. players got to being looked at, and some of them from la mejor cantera de MLS, which is FC Dallas. The FC Dallas Academy, which Wes McKennie came from that academy. He got the luck to be looked over by Schalke 04.
One second, Edward. Look what Luis Bravo is saying. It says he's saying got to take into consideration a lot of U.S. investors are buying stake in European teams, and also stakes in MLS. Sort of what happened with Pepe to facilitate a trade. FC Dallas is becoming the top export for MLS of youth talent to Europe. Yes, but this makes sense because there's no Mexican teams doing this, what FC Dallas is doing. So yes, they're too young and they might not be going to the best teams, but also we can see of one of the prospects or a couple of the prospects that Mexican prospects that are going to are in Europe actually is Diego Lainez, who had no activity whatsoever, or he only played 66 minutes, no goals in 3 games. JJ Macias, he hasn't played since October 3rd.
I mean, Diego Lainez has already scored twice this season.
See, Edwin, earlier you were talking about Orbelin Pineda, how he declined an offer to go to Europe because they didn't pay him well enough. He had to take care of his kid and other stuff, right? But then you got Pepe. I don't know if he has kids or anything, but
no,
he's 18. He's young. If he gets a pay cut, you know, that's okay. So that's why it's not so bad to go to a small team right now when you're young and risk everything. When most likely he's going to climb up the ladder of
You
teams.
didn't let me finish my point. FC Dallas has a great contact with a lot of the greatest teams in Europe right now within their academy, and they have scouts going into the youth their youth teams to be able to take them at a younger age, at 16, 17, and finish their formation in Europe. Like what happened with Weston McKinney and Schalke 04, what happened with a couple of other players that have gone to different teams in Europe. Ricardo Pepi, he wasn't shining, but like the way he was shining this past MLS season in their youth academies. I'm telling you because I've known this from people that work at FC Dallas, and they have covered also for media, have covered FC Dallas for years now, and they said he was one of the players that he was regular on the pitch, but he wasn't a starter. He got that opportunity because FC Dallas did not have money to buy to get any good transfers and be able to make the transition to buy different forwards. So that's how he became the third forward of the season. The first forward got injured, and that's how he got in, and he took advantage of that opportunity. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying like this is the moment for him either to show that you're doing a good to him, to send him to a team that's fighting for relegation, and you're gonna see how much he has improved or how much he got on his plate to be able to prove that he's the next forward or not. There's a reason why he wasn't even on the squad. He was never even considered to be able to be on the squads of the youth Mexican national teams, even though he has a Mexican passport.
There you go. You get that lesson from este segmento fue traído a ustedes por el buen Edwin, que se queda abrazando el micrófono como media hora. Ya nos regañaron aquí, nos dicen it's also World Cup year and teams could be trying to buy players who might play good in World Cup and their stock goes up after they could profit of a sale. That is true too, especially if they're good revelation young players. But that's a whole nother story, and we can go. We've been doing shows talking about this, and I think we can all agree that MLS is doing a better job in exporting players than the Liga MX. Yeah. And that is a fact. We cannot hide that.
US in a total. Now, US has now MLS, they apart from USL, and now they have an MLS2 division, which is a path for the academy players. They have a program that's called MLS Next, and then they have another one that's called MLS2, which is like considered Liga de Expansión in Mexico in second division, to be able to give that opportunity to players to showcase their level and be able to go to Europe.
Okay, so it is part of the things that we were saying that MLS is doing better than. There's no questions asked. I know super hurts, but yes.
Oh, perdón. Como que I lost track a while back.
No, sí, porque Edwin se queda hablando como 10 horas. Prohibido agarrar el micrófono, Edwin.
Listen, I think that definitely there are no questions about US doing a better job. Well, exporting more, I should say. You know, not necessarily the best talent over there, but it's not about it's quantities, not really talent that they're sending. But anyways, and even in Mexico, we criticize players when they go to Europe to a small team, right? Because oh no, they could have been making a lot more money here, but no, they decided to risk and money to not be so like greedy and think about the money. They rather go to Europe, try their luck. Perhaps it's just one season, and then they're like, whatever, I'm going back. And like we've seen players do before.
Super, yes.
Or they could hit it, man. They could hit
how about los extranjeros? Como like we talked before. ¿Quién la está rompiendo? Did you guys see that jump from Raúl Jiménez?
Yeah.
El mismo Raúl Jiménez que el super mojado mató como 20 veces y lo dio ya como parapléjico como otras 30 y esa. Did you see that jump, Super?
Listen, I jumped 40 feet, a wall 40 feet on the border, man. Come on.
Super, eso es cuando comías comida sana, mexicana. Ahorita no brincas ni 2 tortillas, brother.
No, it was a great picture. I'm just gonna put it that way. It was a
great picture.
Extranjeros, the only one that's actually doing good is right now there's 2, and they're in Netherlands, they're in Holland, which is El Guti Gutierrez, que resurgió. Now he's a starter, and he's been playing for a long time now as a starter. And the other one is Edson Alvarez. Those are the only 2 players that you see.
Espérate, el de Pumas, ¿no? El chavito de Pumas, ¿no le está yendo bien?
Johan.
Individualmente le está yendo bien, pero
como titular, pero al equipo en general no le está yendo bien.
Pero you know what's the thing? After this season ends, he did such a great job. He's not gonna stay in that team.
Exactly. Why not? Because he's just being showcased over there. Period. That's what happens. If you ask any Argentinian player and you tell them, listen, you can make decent money in Mexico, or you can go to Europe and do in a fighting for relegation team, what would you rather? And he would say Europe anytime. I can almost assure you.
Yeah.
If there's potential. There's
a couple of rare cases that might say, well, there's a few players that have come out in Argentina and have like Argentina's like Mexico's like or Europe. Why? Because you get to play,
exactly,
and
they become stars.
You become an idol, and you get paid really, really well. And you secure your future.
And then more like Bruno Marioni. Bruno Marioni es un ejemplo.
El tronco de Bruno Marioni.
El tronco. Bueno, cobró más de lo que vas a cobrar el resto de tu vida, mi buen Edwin.
Sí, no. Estoy seguro que hasta Bataglia, que jugó en Pachuca 2 temporadas, ahorita está viviendo de eso y no hace otra cosa en su vida de todos los millonadas. Pero
anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. Entonces, ¿y a Raúl Jiménez no lo ponen como buen extranjero entonces?
Sí.
Si está en la Liga Premier, yes, he's doing a great job.
Pero
le acaban de ganar al Manchester United, por Dios santo.
Pero bueno, el Manchester United es en 7th place.
Bueno, el día que vayas y le ganes al Manchester United en el último lugar, no me importa, me lo escribes, mi buen.
But you know what? I think this either the next 6 months or the next season is gonna be the season for Marcelo Flores and Santiago Muñoz.
I
don't think so, man.
I think they're gonna start. They have to make their debut. You know, they have to start playing.
Santi Muñoz ya está en la lista de transferibles del Newcastle.
Se va al Real Madrid, hombre.
Sí, habrá sido porque ahorita ya tienen muchísimo dinero, se van a llenar de jugadores de nombre,
bajo préstamo, por eso.
Take a look on Twitter. We have Raúl Jiménez jumping over Cristiano Ronaldo, just so you know. Y yo sé que el Edwin se cree Cristiano Ronaldo. So, portugués chaparrito.
Oh, mira, ahí está Edwin en the picture. He's Edwin.
¿Por qué? ¿Sale el árbitro mamado o qué? Ah, no.
No, míralo ahí.
Anyways, real quick, let's get to predictions because we're running out of time. That means we're having fun because it's going pretty fast. Are we doing predictions, producer? Are we doing predictions, producer?
Yes, you are, sir. Prediction time.
Hi.
Thank you. Oye, si me vas a hablar así bonito. Ay, ¿qué pasó?
Mira, se le hizo la piel de gallina al Super.
Le gusta que le hablen al oído al Super. Todo es risas y risas hasta que les hablan así de repente. Anyway, so predictions.
Hasta que la sientes atrás, perdón. Del oído. Atrás del oído.
So anyways,
ya tienes experiencia, güey.
So champions. Who do you guys go for championships?
Tigres.
Edwin dice Tigres. Super.
I agree. Tigres is my prediction.
Fernando.
Again.
Siempre ustedes van a la segura
Pumas.
casi. Mira,
Pumas.
León tiene la espinita de haber perdido en penales contra el Atlas.
Sí, hay
and
chingo de monte allá.
they always have a good team, so I think León is gonna take
okay.
it.
So I'm going with Cruz Azul. Se acabó la maldición, ya no hay presión. Cruz Azul. Apúntele, grábele, mi buen.
Boy.
Grábele. Mira, Luis Bravo, te mandan saludos, producer. Ese sí es voz de hombre, dicen el buen. No tenemos saludos al buen Don Ramón. A ver si se unen de estos el buen Don Ramón. Anyways, how about for top scorer? Mi buen super.
Well, obviously, because I have Tigres making it all the way to the final, I definitely see a comeback from Guiñac.
Bueno, ya dale un beso
back.
a Edwin, pues dale un beso a Edwin. Edwin, tú también vas a salir con Guiñac, ¿verdad?
Bomboro, Gina.
Ay, Dios santo. Ya, pues
El
abrácense.
Bomboro,
Ya.
Gina.
¿Ya ves
Fernando.
cómo te digo que no dicen cosas coherentes mis
Fernando.
compadres de aquí?
Campeón de
Eh,
goleo.
Fernando va a salir con Zambeso, con Fernández, Paul
Zambeso.
Fernández. Va a salir
Zambeso, escúchame.
Escucho, a ver.
Jugó en Mazatlán y metía
pues,
goles
órale.
en todas partes. Metía muchísimos goles ahora que tiene un equipo más sólido atrás.
Y también metió 3 autogoles en la temporada, ¿eh?
Anyways,
¿Quién?
guys,
Zambeso.
es año de mundial. Funes Mori, ahí lo van a ver, ¿eh? Y va a ser líder, porque no lo predecido también y cantado vale doble. Líder en asistencias.
Ay,
Mira, así. Líder en asistencias, ¿quién es? Así. Para que
tenemos
lo
un
sepan.
rayado de closet. Aquí.
Anyways, el caballo negro de la temporada. ¿A quién se va?
Fernando, vamos a decir, Fernando, ¿quién vas, Fernando?
Yo creo que Puebla.
Los
Puebla
camoteros.
ya está empezando a espantar. Y
Siéntate,
creo
Fernando.
que aunque todas las temporadas pasadas everybody says, they're not going to do good. Eventually they're getting so close that they are going to, make it to the final.
Super,
A ver.
Super, ¿con quién te vas?
No manches. I had San Luis. I see San Luis being stoned in a lot of the players' boots.
Con el buen Rubén Sambuesa, el eterno.
Con el Zambuesa ahí, el
Yo
eterno,
voy
claro.
Toluca, Toluca creo que se quedan con buenos delanteros, si no estoy equivocado, pero vamos a ver, pues.
Con
Esta
Zambeso,
les va a gustar, esta les va a
Zambeso,
gustar.
¿verdad, Hugo?
Yo voy
¿Con quién vas tú, Edwin?
Yo voy con Chivas, pero no, espérame, pero no.
Mira, ya existaste al súper, mira la sonrisa que tiene.
No creo que lleguen a la final, pero creo que van a tener un torneo muy, muy bueno, un torneo decente, mejor que el anterior. Entonces, por eso creo que se va a hacer el caballo negro.
Ok, ya está. Mira, aquí nos están mandando saludos desde España. Alex, saludos, mi buen Alex. Gracias por quedarte despierto tan temprano. Hostia, esto se pone bueno.
Hostia.
Who the heck was that? Random Doing saying, el producer. Anyways, el buen Elmur me acaba de mandar un WhatsApp a toda velocidad y me dice que mencione sus predicciones. Tiene de campeón al Monterrey, de caballo negro al Querétaro y de campeón goleador a Camilo Zambeso. Ustedes se pusieron de acuerdo y les gusta decir lo mismo. Entre el Elmur y Fernando ahí se ponen a lo mismo y el Super y el Edwin ya terminaron muy de la mano, muy abrazados.
No, pero es que también tienes que saber los que conocen de fútbol, los que no.
Claro.
Eso no Super.
Hay de conocedores a
Es que
conocedores.
ustedes nada más ven un nombre, Guiñac, y ya se emocionan y les dan todo el crédito a Guiñac, cuando en verdad hay mejores jugadores.
Ay, pues ya no llores porque te ganó una final él solo, papi, ya.
No lloro, pero
Ya, no llores,
lo de
ya,
Tigres es
Fernando,
lamentable.
Mal de acuerdo, dice.
Ya.
Lo de Tigres es lamentable, igual lo de Guiñac el torneo pasado. I don't think he's gonna do anything more this season.
Ponle un curito a esa
El
herida,
torneo
hombre, ya
pasado
para
no
que
jugó
sane.
la mitad del torneo.
El
Y la
Piojo.
otra tampoco, porque no lo vi jugando en la
Ponle
cancha.
un curito a esa herida para que sane, Fernando, ya.
Nomás les digo algo. Un Piojo va a ser protagonista en esta temporada. Eso no me queda ni la menor duda.
No sabemos cuál va a ser.
No sabemos cuál, pero uno de los dos Piojos.
El Piojo de la Liga MX.
¿Cuál es el piojo mayor? ¿Cuál va a ser el piojo mayor? Esa es la pregunta.
A ver,
¿el soplas o el gordo?
Ay, ¿cómo? Pues? Mejor que nos enseñe el árbitro mamado.
Mastícale mejor
Más callado, Edwin. Enséñanos el OnlyFans, ándale.
A ti te están diciendo, güey, no me metas en tus cosas.
Suscríbanse mejor.
Ok, bueno, pues. We made it, guys. We made it. We survived.
We're back.
We're gonna be back next Thursday, so everybody tune in on Thursday. We'll be ready January 13th. El Mexican Soccer Podcast, and we're gonna record this. Obviously, it's gonna stay on, but the predictions are gonna be out there. Elmore, don't worry, we got your predictions. They are set in stone in the cloud somewhere out there. So we're gonna be recording them. Las últimas palabras, mi super rápido.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Let's enjoy this first week of Liga MX.
Edwin, las últimas palabras.
Nada más agradecer a las cuestiones de Austin FC, que el día de ayer nos estuvieron ahí en sus instalaciones con el primer equipo haciendo unas pruebas y unas entrevistas, y pues es todo, gracias.
Mi buen Fer.
I missed you guys y se nos viene un buen año.
Se nos viene un buen año.
Se nos viene un buen año.
Órale.
Se nos viene un buen año.
There you go, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited about this season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lots of soccer and lots of giveaways, lots of everything. So make sure you stay tuned. Follow us. Invite your friends to follow us. Invite your grandma, your tía, tu tía chismosa, que le den like, que se suscriban al Tri Online. We'll be here telling you everything that's going on. And there's a lot of new stuff coming up this season, so stay tuned and coman frutas y verduras, banda. Nos vemos luego. Nos vemos el próximo jueves.